Okay, today we're going to talk about screwdrivers. Out on the table today I have a Craftsman, a Mastercraft, which is similar to Harbor Freight but up here in Canada, a Wera, another smaller Wera, a Klein screwdriver, older snap-on, a newer snap-on instinct handle, an older Mac, and a newer Mac. First one I'll start with is Craftsman. This one, when I got it, was basically brand new. I inherited it. And first thing I'll start off saying, the tip of this one is twisted. I twisted the tip of it, trying to undo a screw in the chuck of my lathe, and yeah, it's definitely not ideal, but better than some other screwdrivers. This small Wera here, comparable to Craftsman. That same bolt, I actually snapped the head clean off. So the Craftsman twisted, whereas the Wera snapped. The Weras are great because they have this laser etching in the end of them, but they clearly temper them a lot harder. They're a lot more brittle. They break, whereas other ones twist. Anyways, moving on from the Craftsman, we have the Mastercraft. This is the cheapest screwdriver on the table by far here. They're an alright screwdriver. The handles are a little small. The texture on the rubber isn't very nice. The tips are not very good. This one, you can see they didn't even really reduce the tip back at all in it. It's just really big shank to a tiny tip. Really not a great screwdriver. Would not recommend these unless it's all you can afford. If it is, they will get the job done, but you're going to round off more fasteners with them and have more problems with them. Now the Wera talks a lot about how their handle design, how that's supposed to fit really nicely in your handle or in your hand. For me, my palm I guess is too big because to get it to sit where they kind of show it, doesn't really sit very nice in my hand. The tips are great on them. They're great for rusted out fasteners or stuck fasteners, but as I said before, they do tend to snap instead of bend. I'm going to go with the Klein. The Klein is probably the second most robustly built screwdriver here. They're incredibly strong and really take a beating. This particular one, the only issue I've had is the shank did come out of it and I had to JB weld it back in, which isn't really ideal for a higher end screwdriver. The rubber also does come off the handles of them, which is something in my older ones. I've taken the rubber off of them. This is the first one other than the Craftsman though that I've shown that's made in the USA, if that matters to you. I believe the Weras are made somewhere in Scandinavia. The Mastercraft are made in China. Then moving on, we have the only Canadian made screwdriver here, an old snap-on I got from a garage sale. These are great. The handles do get really slippery when they're in oil. But they never die. They take such a beating. The ends of them, the tips, take a really good beating. They're made almost basically so you can just touch them up with a file or a grinder. And they're a really great screwdriver if you can find them at a good price at a garage sale or an estate sale. Then moving on, we have the kind of newer brother to the older snap-on screwdriver, the Instinct handle snap-on. They're a great screwdriver too. This one I've had for quite a while, and the end of it's starting to get a little beaten up where it could get touched up with a file maybe. They're great though. I like them. They have my favorite handle of any of the screwdriver. They fit really good in the hand, and the triangular design from them with some of the kind of shallower spots they've made really lets you get a lot of torque on the handle of the screwdriver. Really helps too when they're oily. This has the best grip by far when it's oily than any of the other screwdrivers. Then we go to probably my next choice would be the Mac. This older Mac, it's got nice dimpling in the handle. It's incredibly robust, much like the older Snap-on. This one's made in the USA. Really nice screwdriver. This one's a lot older. You can see the handles take quite a beating, and it's held up really great. We'd also look for these at garage sales and estate sales. Maybe the newer Mac. Mac now has a newer version than when I bought these. I did buy this one new on a Mac truck, and I don't know if I'd recommend them. I know other guys who've snapped the tips off them. I haven't personally, but no better than a Klein screwdriver. I do like the triangular design. That's my favorite so far. The downside of the Klein is the handle. So I believe this one is made overseas because it doesn't say made in the USA anywhere on it. Mac would definitely tell you if it was. So for the money, probably not worth it to buy an overseas screwdriver where the tip snap. The best value I'd say is probably the Wera. The best overall is probably either the new Snap-on or the old one. The Mac is also really close. Really like the Mac one. But if you're on a budget, definitely the Wera is the way to go. The other ones, Craftsman, are really common. If you have them, they definitely work. wouldn't be rushing out to buy the Mac ones. The Klein ones, if you're really hard on your tools, really hard on them, they're definitely the way to go. A little pricier, but they last really well, and also made in USA, and great warranty at Home Depot. You can always take them back any Home Depot and get a new one if you do break them. So that's my opinion on screwdrivers.